This is all the content from the Alpha Plus community bonus pledge for the new game Resident Evil the board game by Steamforged Games. Hi, my name is Klaus, and in today's video we are gonna do an unboxing of this full pledge, and as always you can find timestamp for specific boxes down in the description. But let's get right into it. So let's start with this, which I think is the actual main game. It says Resident Evil the board game, Kickstarter edition, survival horror by Steamforged Games, and of course trademark Capcom. And if we look at the back of this, it just said here that you're sent to investigate, so this is just a story. It says 90 to 120 minutes, age 40 and up for 1 to 4 players, but not a lot of stuff to see here in the box, so let's just get it opened. So these are very simplistic boxes, and as you will see in just a moment, all of the boxes are almost identical visual. So first off, we have a really nice big cover art here. So don't know if it's possible to see, but the zombie is looking away. Then as you flip it, he looks at you. Very, very nice effect here. And on the back we have what looks to be the campaign dashboard. Then we have the official rule book here with a quick reference on the back. And if you take a look inside, you can see we have the content, and we have some big, nice, full color pages here with all the content of the boxes, as well as the description and the rules for the game. Nice big art pieces scattered around here, as well as some really nice examples of how to set up and play the game. Then we have the scenario book. I will not go too much into it. We can just look up and see. So we can see again nice full color, high quality pages with a really nice layout for all the different terrain tiles that you need. Then we have a lot of cardboard here. So these are the different tiles that you need to push out and use, because this is an exploration game where you actually build the map as you play. So we have some corpse tokens, some stairs, some different rooms, some more rooms, some encounter tokens, wound tokens, etc. But yeah, I don't think we have too much other stuff going on at the tiles, to be honest, so I'm not gonna open this up further right now. And then comes a tray of miniatures. So here we have the 4 original survivors from the first game, which this is based on, if I can get in focus. So if I remember correctly, this is Chris, this is Jill Valentine. Again, nice quality sculpts. We have Rebecca, and here in the end we have Barry. Then we have some of the different monsters that you encounter. So I think these are called hunters, and this is probably the TO2 mini boss from the first game. Don't know who or what this should be, but again, nice sculpt, interesting choice of base size. And then we have a lot of just different zombies here. And again, pretty good quality sculpts, nice level of details, which we have come to expect from Steamforged Games. We have some of these connector parts here, probably for some tiles. We have the unique dice for the game. And let's see if there's anything underneath. So we actually have a tray here to store all the things in when you have opened everything up. Then we have all the cards. So these are the room cards that shows you what tiles to place and what tokens to place on it when you explore. We have the tension deck that is used to find out what happens, kind of like events deck for Shadow Rooms and stuff like that. These seems to be campaign cards. These are probably campaign cards, or probably also some of your mob cards and character cards. These are the room cards, so those are probably objective cards. We have equipment or item deck. We have objective and lock and door cards. And we have some more item cards here. So here we have a green herb that you can use to heal your characters. But that is all the content. So a lot of cards, a lot of cardboard, some really nice miniatures as well. But let's hurry up and take a look at the next box, because we have a lot of boxes to go over. So next up we have this Resident Evil Director's Cut Kickstarter Edition Survival Horror, and it actually just says almost the same. It just has a short text here. This time it is something different, of course. It's still the same down here, but this requires a core game, so this is some kind of expansion. But maybe we get a bit more enlightened as we open it up. Let's see. It's very light, this box. So it's the same size as the core game, but way lighter. So here we go. So it says Resident Evil, the board game director's cut. It has additional components, short introduction, applies new rules and alternative game modes. And again, we have the same kind of layout. So this brings in some new enemy types, some additional characters, 8 additional characters, as well as some new cards and new rules. So here we have the tray, so it has room for all the miniatures as well as the cards. So these are the new event and objective cards. We have some additional character health tracks and character cards for the new characters. Then we have the 8 new characters here, and we have some of the new miniatures, such as these snakes here. And these really cool looking giant tarantulas. We have some more zombies, and we have these, seems to be crows. Yeah, so these are these killer crows that you meet pretty early in the game. That can be quite a challenge, to be honest. We also have these 2 kind of Carnage inspired mutants here. And let's see if we have anything beneath. So we don't, that's just one big box and a lot of unused space. I would think this is probably to ensure that all the boxes are the same size when you have them on your game shelf, but there's definitely some room for reducing the storage requirement by getting some of this into some of the other boxes. But let's continue. So next up we have another expansion. This time it is Into the Darkness, also a Kickstarter edition. And if we turn it over, it has a short introductional text like the 2 others, and it requires the core game, but let's just get it open. So just like the other expansion, we have a short rulebook here, getting us 2 new bosses, the Yawn and the Black Tiger, as well as a lot of new tiles, cards, and additional components. And this is an expansion to the campaign. So the other was an extension of the rules and additional enemies to use in your base game. This is the actual expansion that extends the campaign from where you leave up in the mansion. So it has some additional rules for massive bases due to the size of the boss, it seems, and some new legends for how to set up the different scenarios. We have the new cardboard, so additional tiles, more stairs, the same objective tokens. We have some cobwebs here, and then we have the big monsters. So we have some additional item cards. We have spawn cards and enemy cards for the bosses, as well as some of the new tile cards. And then here we have, if I can get it up, so we have this giant boss here, Yawn. Really nice sculpt, and as you can see, this is pretty big. And then over here we have this giant spider. I would think these are probably 80mm bases. And again, nothing underneath. So all of this could definitely be in the same box as that expansion we just saw. I would hope that somebody is gonna make some kind of combined storage solution for all of this. So here we have the last expansion is the Bleak Outpost, or the Kickstarter edition. And just again, we just have a short introductional text here setting up for the content of the box. So let's just get it open. I don't know if I prefer these simple boxes without a lot of stuff, or the more normal way you can actually see what you're getting in the box. These are definitely a lot more stylish. Also like how they kept the simple original logo, and this was very, when the game first came out for the PC, you would have these markings on the boxes and the CD cases. So, and that's definitely a nice little retro touch here, which we're also gonna see a lot more of in just a moment. Small teaser, because I saw another box. So again, we have a small guide here telling about the expansion, and this is also additional scenarios on how to expand the campaign, just like with the Into the Darkness expansion we just looked at. And this has 2 new bosses as well, Neptune and Plant 42. We have some new tiles and object tokens, just like the other expansion. It's actually almost the same. These are just specific for the new bosses. And then here we have the cards and bosses. So just like before, we have some additional items. We have the expansion specific cards, such as the boss cards for the 2 new bosses. And then first off, we have this shark miniature here from Neptune. I have to admit, this is not as detailed as the other miniatures. This seems a bit chunky, to be honest. And then we have this giant plant, if I can get it up here. So this is the base, the stem. And then over here we have the top, which probably goes on in a specific way. So we have this giant plant monster here. It's pretty tall, as you can see. And again, that's all for the box. But this uses a lot more of the space due to this big miniature here. So those are all the expansions, or at least all the black box expansions. So let's continue with some of the other stuff that we got in this pledge. So here we have a box. It says Resident Evil the board game, Gametrayz, and it has this police department sign here from the city where the mansion is located. But let's get this opened. I don't think it has anything on the back. No, it doesn't. So I would think the rest of the stuff that we haven't opened yet is actually just accessories. So the 4 black boxes is probably all the game components and expansions, but let's see. So this one says Resident Evil. It is a plastic container with smaller compartments, if I can just get it open. So we have small compartments here. I would think these are for all the different kinds of tokens that you need during gameplay. So you can just fill this one up and put it out on the table. I don't know if these would actually fit down into the main boxes. That would be nice if they would. We have another kind of plastic insert here, which I would, it's quite a big one here. So I would think these are probably for the different card types, styles, stuff like that. I would almost think that this one goes down on top of the miniature tray and actually fits in the core box. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of storage compartments, especially here. I would think this makes it easier to just get to all your cards and stuff. Maybe this is also just to be put out on the table. I will have to look that up. And then last thing in the box, we have another compartment here. Also says Gametrayz, Resident Evil. And I don't know what this should be. If this is actually for the miniatures or what it is. It seems like it's strange because it has, I don't know if you can see, but it's like round down here, just like the bases of the miniatures. So it might be additional storage, so all of this just goes into the box instead of what it came with. But there's probably some kind of documentation somewhere that we can look up at some time. And now we move over to some smaller boxes. I'll just move the camera closer. So first off, this is one of my favorite boxes as all. For those of you who don't know, this is an exact copy, even though a bit smaller scale, of the original game case for the PC game when it first was released. And I actually had this game. This was the first PC game that I bought on CD-ROM back in the day. So this really brings back memories. This is really nice retro feeling. It also has a retro pack here. And we have the original art for the characters all pixelated. And can't wait to get this one open. It says here, this expansion contains over 600 retro-themed cards for your copy. So this is probably just additional versions of all the cards for the base game and expansions. But it doesn't really matter because this looks so awesome. So let's get open. I really like that they just used the old cover art here. So we have a big insert here. And then we have a lot of cards. So these are the same cards I can see as we are in the other, but they're all pixelated. So here we have Spawn, a Kerberos. So the back sides are the same. No, they are also all pixelated actually. The same goes here for the weapons. So for those of you that played the old game, you can see here this is the original art for the shotgun and the herbs as well. So they've taken all the original game art. Let's just try and open one of these packs. We have like the green herbs, the handgun bullets, the dagger, grenade rounds. All of these are this pixelated original, the lighter, old key, all the original game art. That's really cool. We have all the objective cards. We have the door cards, which has also been done with the old artifact. The same goes here. So all the font is this pixelated old time font as well. That's really cool. I actually think that I would prefer playing with these cards over the modern ones. We have the objective cards. We have the enemy cards. So here we have the original art for the zombies. We have the special spawn cards. More enemy cards here. So this one seems like it is for Plant 42. So this pack also contains cards for all the expansions that we have seen. Really cool. So you can actually play the whole campaign with these retro cards here. That's the first time I've seen this for a board game, that they actually have an expansion or a deluxe edition that brings back the original feeling, that have the original art and goes back to the roots. That's really awesome. And again, as I said, this was the first game that I ever bought for PC and CD-ROM, so I have a lot of nostalgia based on this one. I definitely can keep this box on my game shelf, just for the art. Next up, we start on these small brown boxes. So all of them says Resident Evil the board game, and then they have different stuff. So this is the Terrain box, and again, doesn't really say anything other than it requires the core game. So in the core game, there's a lot of tokens, as we saw on the cardboard, for like doors and different tiles, items, locked doors, tokens, etc. And I would think that these are probably some more deluxe tokens, maybe acrylic, but let's take a look. I was wrong and not that wrong. These seems to be resin or plastic tokens, and they are pre-assembled. So we have these doors as an example that can open and close. So in this game you have doors that is closed as you start, and then you can use an action to open them, and when they're open you can go through, but the monsters can't go through closed doors, and you can close the doors after you. So we have a lot of different door designs. In this bag we have another bag with different door designs. We have a third bag with open doors. These are probably the archways. We have some maybe stairs. We have some banisters at least. Some cabinets. Oh, here we have the stairs. Let me just get this one open. So here we have different flight of stairs. So these types here. And this is what I prefer to be the elevator. So it seems like we have terrain for all the different kinds of tokens that you will need during gameplay. Again, I don't really... Sometimes a 3D board looks really awesome if you also have miniatures, but it kind of depends on the game. So we'll have to just wait and see. Last up we have corpse tokens, these small 3D corpse tokens instead of the cardboard. I think if you were to paint all of this terrain to get away miniatures, that's probably gonna add a lot of nice dimension to your game. Next up we have the small box saying Monster Box, and again doesn't really say anything on the back, which we have come to expect from this production. Inside we have a small insert with different miniatures. So we have some additional of these, I think they're called Hunters. So 4 of those. We have the classic hounds. So if you've ever played, when you start the game, if you try to go out the front door, you'll be met by these like zombified Dobermans. We have some more of the zombies. Then down here we just have additional prints of the zombies that we also had in the base game. So yeah, a lot of additional miniatures. No additional cards, so I would think that all of these miniatures already exist in the core game and expansions. These are just additional numbers of them. Then we have a small box here just saying Kickstarter Exclusives, and again nothing on the back, so let's just open up and take a look. Okay, so this is an insert with all of the different characters in s.t.a.r.s. I think at least I can recognize Chris and Jill. Jill again. Barry, we also have the pilot, I can't remember the name. So yeah, it seems like we have a couple of additional characters, as well as some alternative sculpts of the characters from the base game, as well as the expansion, the Director's Cut expansion. But no new cards or anything, just miniatures. Then last of the brown boxes, this one just says the Fallen 5. But let's see. Okay, so we have a very small box here with some additional cards and 5 characters. So these are advanced characters apparently. So we have Edward Dewey here. So I would think these are some of the additional characters from the original game. And I don't know why they're called Fallen 5. Maybe it was someone that didn't make it to the base game. But yeah. Additional characters, so these one have character cards so that you can actually play them in your game. That's the first expansion we have seen of these small with actual cards in it. Then we have this small pack here, which just says the Gold Tyrant. So we have these unique golden cards and a golden miniature. It actually looks like the boss that we saw in the board game, the T002. But let's see if we can get this one opened. So yeah, we got the miniature here. It looks like the same miniature. Then we have this gold foiled card here for the Gold Tyrant. Then we have this nice gimmick here, which is Umbrella Corporation Blood Vial with the additional dice. I think if we open it up, we'll see it is the exact same 6 dice as we had in the board game, in the base game. But I like the detail here of the canister. Last but not least, we have these neoprene playing mats. So instead of having to lay out your character card and your health board as well as your different items, you actually have these neoprene mats that you can place everything on. And let's see if we can get them open. Take a closer look. Yeah, so it's just 4 identical player neoprene mats, but they're okay quality. The colors is a bit faded, but I do like the possibility to have a location to place all your different cards while playing. So yeah, but that also rounds up all the content. So that was all the boxes and all the content of the boxes from the alpha as well as the community bonus splits for the game Resident Evil by Steamforged Games. As always, if you have any comments, please write them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video or find it informational, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. It is highly appreciated. But that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.